let me say at a broader level that businesses that are indexed to Indian consumption or largely Indian consumption are fairly resilient. Anything that is more integrated with global supply chains, whether it's exports or certain commodities, I think there is volatility and some weakness there. That's why you're seeing exports not doing well. Indian economy consumption is holding on. It is certainly now not the full potential because after all we are also integrated into the world economy. The exports value chains are impacted, right? So when that is firing, our economy should do better. What we are growing at without exports firing, I think is a decent number. Now the impact on consumption has been more inflation led, and it is inflation led because inflation has actually been mostly imported. The second factor is climate emergency because it's led to crop failures and so on and so forth.
But also
right?
Food, right? Local
yeah, that's
food
what I'm saying. The
issues,
the climate. So two facets of it. And as the inflation is moderating, the latest Nielsen numbers also show some green shoots of pickup in the rural economy. Also, consumption
is that what your businesses are witnessing as well?
See, we have been growing consistently in rural and urban both. But I should not be basing my commentary on the economy just on my data. I would rather base it on industry data, which shows there is an uptick in rural economy as inflation has cooled off. What is monitorable certainly is inflation today. There is this El Nino bit, and of course the global dynamic is still not very, it's an uncertain world.
Right.
Uncertain world. So that is a monitorable, but as the inflation is cooling off, it is picking up.
Okay. Final last question. The government has clamped down on exports of wheat, rice, or certain kinds of rice, more recently onions. It's an ad hoc policy that I understand is responding to local pressures of price, but nonetheless, it is impacting businesses that were exporting, some of these commodities, including yours. So how do you view this government policy, and are you hoping that these will be short-lived bans or short-lived restrictions?
So look, it is impacting, but as businesses, we have to be also responsible. People have to have food in the country. So we have to understand that, and people have to be able to afford it. So these are realities, and we must recognize these are important enough. So that's the way I look at it. And I obviously hope that it is short-lived. And what is it that will enable us to export is our crops doing well. Mm-hmm. Our agriculture producing more than it's required so that we have the surpluses. And as a responsible corporate, this is what I would like to work with the farming community and see how we can improve the produce. And that's what ITC Mars is doing. That's what our Climate Smart Agriculture program is doing. So that's what we will continue to work with.
Because even, across the world, we've seen, rice prices hit 5, 6, 8-year highs.
That's right.
Because India pulled back many of these exports, most recently parboiled rice. Yes. So are you concerned about what that means for the longevity of your export business?
So
because if you're on 1 year and off to 6 months, then
I said yes, it does impact. But although I'm not wanting to go the path of my company right now.
No, just broadly. I'm not talking specific to that.
I'll give you a very brief answer. So my focus at this point of time in agriculture is two. One is on value addition, right? Because we and for example, we inaugurated the spices facility, and we are now going to inaugurate the nicotine derivatives products, nicotine of pharmaceutical grade, right? So that's the path we are going. We are building capacity in medicinal and aromatic plants, horticulture, aqua. So these are the areas on value-added part is where we are focusing on, right, as a company. And this is more value accretive than the commodity business in any case.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
The second area we are focusing on is really ITC Mars, which is an integrated platform for farmers. That's where our focus are. Yes, these trading opportunities in grains, etc., do get impacted when the shortage is there. But for us to be able to benefit from export opportunities, we must also participate in solving the problem, improving productivity. We can't just sit there and say that somehow the productivity will improve and government will allow exports to happen. Let us work with the farmers and try and improve productivity so that we create these surpluses and then benefit from business. That's the way I will look at it.